What up, what up, what up, folks? Professor Melly Mill, the Hood Postman. You know the vibe. Yeah, yes, we are back. We are back. We are back. What's good, man? See, I got my Hood Postman on. Anybody waiting for people to join in the chat? I want to talk about a couple of things. So, hope you guys are doing well in your day. As for me, it's fantastic. Yeah, I think about talking about a couple of things that it's been like on my mind. I didn't know if I want to do it live or just tell a story out and then download it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times I see I gotta actually schedule the live in order for that to work. So yeah. But anyway, let's see. Anybody want to jump in with me or do any of that kind of stuff? That'll be cool. That'll be real cool. Yeah, but I want to start off with giving shouts out to my guy Seti Mash, man. Nash Edition doing mad things, man. Go over there, tap in with him. CeddySANASH. Seti Nash, man. The Nash Edition, man. You can find him both on YouTube and what is that? Instagram. Sorry about that. Yeah, you can find him over there, man, doing big things. Also, shout out to the United Streets of America, my guys, Bright Dog and Hey Roo. And also shout out to the Gangster Chronicles, man, for letting me drop by yesterday. Very interesting conversation we had over there. And it was off the chain, man. But what I want to talk today, man, is like the original Piru Boys. The Piru Boys is actually the only original game, besides the US Boys, is the only original game from Compton. Of course, the Crips migrated from LA to Compton. So, but the only original gang is US Boys and Piru Boys. So, originally, the Piru Boys was probably initiated by King Babalui, my loved one, Puddin, Tam, let's see, of course, Lorenzo, Lil Vince, and also Lil Nate. I throw Lil Nate up in there as well because he was around back then. So, and then, and there was other Yellow Ice, of course. But my main purpose for talking about them is that they actually initiated about 71. So they was the original Piru Boys. But it was Melvin Lloyd, who brought to their attention Lorenzo and I believe Vince that why are we calling ourselves boys? Isn't that's a negative connotation? And you can see Bob Louis book for that quote right there, Bob Louis, King Bob Louis AC. And so they eliminate the boys and add brothers, Piru brothers. So as Turner and Vince things get to happening, you know what I mean, and they was anti crip at the time, you know what I mean, but based on things that happened between them. And then Compton has always been really, really stern about being not identified with LA politics. And that's been since the time of the beginning. And that time didn't make no difference. It wasn't, even though Bob Louis came from over there at the Crips and eventually embraced the Piru Boys, brothers to Piru gang itself, or Piru tribe. I'm going to say the tribe. But it was Icky Dawson, I believe, that actually bridged the two from Piru to the Ludus Park hustlers, and they was able to embrace one another based on Icky Dawson was like a runaway. He had ran away from YA or something, and he was hanging out. He had already knew Bob Louis and a couple of other cats over there, and so he's the one that introduced them and brought them all together, man, which was a very interesting thing. But what's interesting about that is that what I found out that Bob Simmons actually lived on Piru Street, which is another interesting story. Well, we won't get into that, but you got to keep that. Remember, I called him the Crip Whisperer, so we got to keep that in mind. So let's moving forward. Once the Ludus Park hustlers and was embracing them, And what stood out to me, yeah, that truck, like, what's up? I see you, man. I see you, man. Talking with Lebo Muhammad, yeah, that's my guy right there. So what's interesting about that, once Icky Dawson introduced the Ray Clifford Johnson, Russell Johnson, Bojangles, Smiley, Sleepy, those cats, part time, the original part time, tall, not the tall time, but part time, Vince, Stephen Wolf, bartender, Savage, Jimmy Cash Butler, Volcano, just to name a few. You know what I mean? I don't want to go through the whole list of the Lewis Park hustlers at that time, which became eventually Lewis Park Piru, right? So, but what's interesting about all this, because the West Side, they all went to Centennial. So, salute to you too, bro. And the Dominguez and the Lewis Park boys, they all went over to what was known as Dominguez High. So they had a big relationship with cats that were out of the Oaks Park area that came, the Oaks Park businessman. Right on, Big Deb. Right on. I see you, Crystal. I see y'all out there that became, they was really tight going to school during that time, because you got to understand that the these different areas were closely related. You know what I mean? Lewis Park, Oaks Park, right? So actually, there was Curtis Patrick, Donald Prescott, AB, Lacey, and and others. I'm not gonna really say all their names, but they was really on this close, like this close to being actually with the Piru based on the relationship they had. But it wasn't until Stanley Tookie Williams, my homeboy Dub, down on Chester Norwood, they was in Factor Brookings out there in Bannon. Again, Bob Simmons, right? Bob Simmons plays a part in all this. And you got to know that also Rosie Greer is the one that put together the round table along with Bob Simmons, Coach Cheese, Kenny, and which was Baby Boy, and the mayor of Los Angeles. Okay, so now you got all these guys. You got many to move in different parts and many variables, and I just want to help you guys understand this stuff. You know what I mean? If I can. So what happens on to really break all this stuff up, right? 1973. At this time, Curtis Patrick was had been initiated by the Oaks Park boys as a Crip, but he was formerly a Piru. Lived on McDivitt. He had a sister named Belinda who hung out with Cynthia and Sylvia Nunn and Marcus Nunn and all the nuns. They all hang out. They was, pretty tight, based on going to Dominguez. The relationships that they built was based on attending Dominguez High. So February the 9th, 1973, this is all public information. You can Google search it. Ray Clifford Johnson was stabbed at a party. And allegedly, Curtis had something to do it. I don't know the particulars of that. Allegedly, they both rest in peace. Hopefully, they found peace in themselves and they was able to be forgiven for whatever that was. I can't give you the full context of that, but there's something. But at this point, I believe Curtis was discovered as maybe even being like, relating information back and forth. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I'm just giving you to the way I see it in my terms, and it's all based on my opinion. So when this occurred, many things had transpired. By this time, Little Johnny had to meet up there at Ludus Park with King Babalu and all the Ludus Park boy. King and Little Black Johnny was original Compton Crip who later moved on to start the Portrays. Okay, he started the Portrays, but anyway, he was there trying to change that whole scenario with the Pirus being Pirus and all this stuff. You know what I mean? Because they was all trying to be one thing in Compton, but it didn't work out that way based on people didn't get along, people mistreatment, people was being disrespected and felt like, nah, we don't have to be that. We can be what we want to be. And rightfully so, the Pirus stood their ground, and that was that. No more to be said to Little Black Johnny on that issue. So moved him out the way. He went on about his way. So come now, you got Jimmy Cash Butler, you got Savage, you got Lug and Jug, you got Curtis, you got Lil George, you got, let's see, Prescott, Donald Prescott, you got A.B. Lacey. All these cats registered to bartending in New York. They lived in Oaks Park neighborhood. Okay. So now here comes the BS. When that thing happened with Ray, all that ended everything. You know what I mean? That initially ended everything and was on. And I was remembering, because Jimmy Butler felt really, really comfortable with coming around and hanging out, and you know what I mean? And I love me some Cash, man. He was just to me he was a big homie, you know what I mean? And he was always, influential in that thing called Piru. He was just one of those cats, dressed real sharp, real tall. All the ladies loved him. He was like a bartender, you know what I mean? All the ladies loved him, some Jimmy Cash Butler. So this particular day, by this time, all this stuff had got out of hand. Jimmy Butler entered the store on Pine and Santa Fe, and he comes out and he get into it with a couple of cats right there, and Tookie catch him and hit him, from a blind side and knock Jimmy out. You know what I mean? Jimmy was out cold, but Jimmy, man, you gotta understand, man, Jimmy is a different type of dude, So he bounced back. So Jimmy leaves, he goes out, man. Maybe he comes back, man, and catch the old Spark boys on the peanut, right? And that's where Jimmy get down. He get down, man. He got that goddamn to get down. And one of the homies was hit, cat named by Michael Clark, aka Crazy Mike. Then they blew his whole nutsack off, you know. But anyway, from that point on, man, it was cracking. It was cracking. You know what I mean? That back and forth dudes riding 10 speeds, riding on top of cars and back and forth. You mean the back and forth went on and went on and went on to all those first type of resurrectional guys that started that thing, man, to where you started seeing them disappear like the cigarette commercial. Remember that cigarette commercial where all the people stand on the hill? And at that time, my mind wasn't fully wrapped around what was happening to them, but they was, engaging in different crimes and multiple shootings or whatever, and fist fights and all that, because back then it was a whole lot of fist fighting, And yeah, that's right. Ooh, Jesus. Yeah, it was just so much. Yeah, Crystal. Yeah, it was so much. But anyway, so that initiated, you know what I mean, that back and forth, you know what I mean? And these guys, prior to that, they attended each other's schools, they attended each other's parties, you know what I mean? There was Robert Thomas, Big Roy Scott, Gary Miller, Gary the Governor Miller, Snake. Yeah, peace to you too, brother. Snake, just get like the Snake, you know what I mean? And Big Chocolate, Silas Cole, just to name a few, man. These guys were the heavy hitters over there, you know what I mean? And even to the degree, man, we had one cat that was, man, right this close signing a major league contract, and he was standing in Oaks Park. They was all discussing what they gonna do because the heat was on now. You know what I mean? These dudes was literally walking to each other's hoods and fighting and getting down and, testing each other's metal, measuring up and all this stuff. You know what I mean? They was getting down back then, And this guy named was Huey Brooks, Poo Poo. So I guess Chester was trying to show him how this pistol worked, and I think it was a 25. Bam, and it went off. Hit Poo Poo. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so what happens though, the gun goes off and shoots Huey, and he later became a major league baseball player. But that moment in time could have ended his whole career, man. And I was just reflecting back, you know what I mean, all the back and forth and all the disagreement. But these guys had built over all that time before all this stuff come. They had great relationships, you know. And one thing about Compton, this is the thing about Compton, right? Anybody on the outside of Compton coming in, and all these dudes are coming together in order to defend Compton. It's just a weird thing about that, you know what I mean? And you never understand how this thing, because there was times when I was at Chino. I went to school with this cat. His name was Shamrock. Shamrock. I forget, it was something Bolden, but he had a sister named Wanda. I can't remember his name. But we all called him Shamrock. He was in Chino, right? I'm in Chino, and we're on the West Yard. And I run into him, and he come to me and say, "Mel, you know, they gonna get me." I'm like, "Who gonna get you?" He telling me about some LA dudes over there, because I was in Borrego, and I'm remember what unit he was in. But anyway, the dudes is on him, man, because somebody had, you know, told the cats that he was a Piru or whatever. But shit, man, Big Country got a hold of that stuff. By the time Big Country got it, Big Country is Herman, man. This dude about 6'7" was about a boat too, you know, on the hang. Big Country got a hold of that. Big Country's he lived over there by the Santa Fe Mafia area, which was adjacent to the Santana block. But anyway, man, he gathered like many Comptons as we could. Stood the ground, man. Can't mess with, man. I don't, okay, whatever, man. He from Compton though, you know. So when people talk about Compton sticks together and they don't, you know what I mean, or they don't fight there, or they all come check on you or check, you know, rush you or whatever. That's a true statement. What to do, Fitzgerald? I see you out there. That's a very true statement. Very, very, very true statement. So, you know what I mean? But by the way, the interesting thing about Curtis Patrick and all the things that happened to him, he was actually born on 722. So all these things are not coincidental, man. It's just funny how it all lines up. But anyway, when I had, you know, started getting in the game, man, and cats I was working with, man, actually they were out of Fruit Town, man. You know, one of them happened to be my ex-brother. I'll shout out to him, Frank Logan, and Tone Logan. And we had the spot over there. And stuff just started happening, man. You know what I mean? But all the time, the money game started coming into play, and people was like less likely to get into it based on money relationships too. So, you know, that strengthened the core, especially among the hustlers and everything. You know, so over a period of time, things begin to relax with the G's. That's why you see the G's are what we know as G's or triple G's. They're really comfortable with one another, you know what I mean? Because they had relationships. Shout out to Big Ducky and Dave over there, Don Juan in Fruit Town. I grew up with all them cats over there, you know, Big Stanley Simon, Bubba Simon, Emmett Smith, Melvin's, Emmett Burks and Melvin Burks, Zenith Burks. You know, shout out to them, man. Shout out to Cuba family. Just shout out to all my Fruittown family. You know what I mean? Went to school with those cats, you know, so it just, you know, this stuff, you can never get sorted all out, man, but it was just such a different time in that era, you know what I mean? And versus what the time today is, you know. So I just wanted to talk about that for a moment. I know I couldn't give a lot of detail, but I guess you guys kind of get the gist of it, you know, especially related to, you know, how the Pirus transitioned from the Piru boys to the Piru brothers to the Piru. And then how they made the pilgrimage all the way across town to the east side to meet the east side brothers who embraced the Piru, you know what I mean? Because if you think about it, if you go up and down Rosecrans, 135 to from Avalon all the way down to right the border of Paramount, you got the Cross Atlantic and Lime Hood, man. There's only one Crip gang in that section, and that would be What's Cracking with You, man. Nationwide, rest in peace. Rip Riders album came out in 1995. The Atlantic Drive Comptons were set tripping super hard on this. Yeah, man. But all them dudes, if you think about it, man, it was us against the world, man, because we were very, 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 very formidable, very, very battle tested. I'm talking about battle tested. Talk to Mob James about it. He'll tell you. And Mob James was a formidable. You know, he was very fluent in the things he did. So can't take that, man. That's why I got so much respect for them dudes today. You know what I mean? All of them out the mob, and even though the separation occurred between the mob and the Lewis Squad, but still, at one time they were just one big ass huge super gang, not to be played with. Peace and blessings. That's right, right, beloved. Can we get some of that Hood Postman T-shirt? Oh, yeah, man. This is something I'm just playing with. Hood Postman, Kingdoms and Complex Architecture, and Damu and Kiwi on the bottom. Yeah, Damu and Kiwi. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do something with that, man. Somebody shouting at you, Fitzgerald. So how you guys' day going, man? So now I'm ready for some questions. Anybody got any questions for me? Or anybody want to jump in the live? We can do that too. If you want to jump in, let me see. Let me see. Anybody want to jump in the line? Yeah, shit, man. Building the airplane while we fly it, y'all. Building the airplane while we fly it, That's what we do. That's what we do. Build the airplane while we fly it. Invite, copy. How's that? Some in the chat. Post a comment. Yeah, so I don't know if y'all can see that. There you go. Anybody trying to jump in, we can jump in and get it in, but it's okay. What we got? What we got? Yeah, you late here for this lesson, man. Just go back after it's all said and done, That's twin Compton Crib, but yeah, I remember that, huh? Yeah, they got introduced to the crack in the 80s, man. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Oh, here we go, man. Here we go. There we go.
Oh, hey.
Let it go, man. There go my guy right there. The CEDDYNASH. The City Nash edition, man. Man, tell them about it, man. Speak to the people, man.
It ain't nothing but just for individuals who, need something to start their day off the right way. Or even if your day ain't going your way, you ain't having a bad day, you having a character building day. I'm about to have a character building day because my daughter just texted me, we going to the Boiling Crab. Me and 3 teenagers.
Man, there it is, man. That's a beautiful thing because early I was on with my granddaughter, man, and we
seen that.
College and school and and her learning different cultures and languages. You know what I mean? I'm proud of that she's able to.
I didn't get to finish it, but I was watching it.
Yeah, good. I appreciate that, man. That's why, and you gave me an idea because when I saw your thing, man, we ain't building no gangbangers. That's what we're not doing. We're not building nobody for gangbanging.
I really, really snapped on some people today because there's a dude who in Chicago teaching his kid how to disrespect. He didn't even throw it up the hood. He disrespected somebody else's hood.
Wow.
And then they told me They told me that's Chicago business. So, like we went banging on the West. Okay. I said, y'all got to tell me when the GDs got more popular than the Crips. I'm just going to be honest. I said, I ain't heard of no GDs in no New Zealand or nothing like that.
Exactly. And that's case in point, you know, once you give them that point right there, into discussion.
They're talking a bunch of
You know,
dummies.
they got Santana's over there in Tanzania. So, you know, and I'm sure in other African countries they got maybe 60s and in hoods and, you know, God knows who, you know what I mean? Why they embraced it or why they do what they do, but still the presence is there, you know. Can't deny
And
that.
the worst part is he was disrespecting the GDs, which I would say is the third biggest black gang anyways. So y'all running a black peace stone out of Chicago. So I was just like, just come on, man.
Stop.
But they got. It don't matter if I like, and I like Lil Buddy. I like Lil Buddy, but I don't care. Like wrong is wrong. I don't care. But they can't never just tell the truth about themselves. That's the unfortunate part.
Right. Well, you know, some things that just people just want to just be in the denial. I think they kind of set up that way mentally. You know what I mean? Because there's the one thing I talked about this before. I said is that this is the reason why I don't get into labels, especially religious labels, because you'll find yourself protecting the label versus the information that's coming at you. Because just because something is out of your circumference of awareness or your circle of knowledge doesn't make it a lie. It's just that you don't understand it, or you're not that real red to where you can't pick up this new information or take it. It's not that it's new, it's just that you've been so focused on one simple thing. It's like being in the kindergarten and don't go to the first grade, second grade, third grade, so forth. So all the way up to the 12th grade until you graduate from college. So we don't quit learning just because you get one book. You don't stop learning as a rule, right? Well, tell me about that.
Indeed.
Okay.
Nah, that when I get with my people and stuff like that before we decided to get these what's the names these businesses started, I asked them the question of what is stale, STALE. And I said if we ever become stale, we're gonna lose.
Yeah.
When we don't learn how to adapt, we're gonna lose.
Right. True that, because you know, Dr. Claude Anderson said that we're in jeopardy of becoming a permanent underclass if we don't get it together.
I like when he get to spitting. I appreciate when Dr. Claude be spitting.
He a pillar, man. He a pillar. You know, him and Francis Wilson Crest, pillars, man. That information right there, man, it supersedes anything you ever learned from a European perspective, because the Europeans is here not to teach you or learn you, but to keep you as a permanent underclass. And how they do that is through education, religion. It's like a
I got into it.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I just said I got into it about somebody with religion, because they kept on saying market the beast, market the beast, market the beast. And I'm just like, everything you said about the market of the beast is literally within your phone. I said, everything you said about market of the beast is literally in your phone. It tracks you. It takes your fingerprints. You need your face sometimes to open a lot of your stuff. It got all the information. And then you comfortably upgrade your phones all the time.
Man, there was one dude in the chat, for whatever reason, man, he decided to say these crabs are, you know what I mean? He listen, look at his tonality and the phraseology that he's using, man. We're trying to educate people. We're not trying to say who won or who lost, because the streets is undefeated. The streets is undefeated.
Right.
not the tribes and anything that we don't put one tribe in front of the other. That's what we don't do. What we want to do is grow as a people. I put that dude on timeout though, man. He on
Yeah,
block for
they
5
gonna be
months.
there. They
Yeah.
gonna be there. They
What's going
definitely
on,
gonna
Mario?
be
I
there.
see you. Yeah, James Keel. The first step is ownership. You should content. Then, as your channel grow, get your LLC. Yeah, we both already had that, brothers. Appreciate the knowledge, though.
The question James kills. If you're really talking about LLC, are you being honest about LLC? Or are you talking about going to $20,000 worth of debt without a plan to get up out of that? You do know with an LLC and being a sole proprietor, when you file taxes, there damn near is no difference. You
Except
see?
that 800 feet you got to pay to California.
Yeah, I don't,
Or the
I don't live in
LLC.
Cali no more. I'm on a plane to Georgia to Atlanta freaking tomorrow. I actually stay in Oklahoma. I'm just never there.
Yeah, somebody actually was hanging, man. GD royalty. GD
Uh,
royalty. What's good with you, champ?
I'm cool.
Respect to the platform. I appreciate
I
it,
told
Dominic
these
Mayweather.
I told these kids to be out here by 4:30.
Uh huh.
It's 4:31.
You know they untimely.
See they missed Six Flags today.
Uh huh.
I told them on Monday, hey, Wednesday, Thursday, be ready. 9 a.m. They was bright and early ready tomorrow. Yesterday to go to Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. For some odd reason, they ain't make it today.
Yeah, exactly, man. So let's do this, man. I know you busy, man. We'll click back on with you at 8, right? That's where we at?
Correct.
Okay. So, man, salute to Seti Nash, man. Give him your info, man. Give him that social where they can find you at.
CEDDYNASH, one word, on Instagram, and then you can just type in rapper Seti Nash on YouTube, and then that'll be there. And just kind of keep up with everything, current events, as far as these rappers and all that crap go. And then I try to make sure, because I'm gonna put a video up too that I want y'all to react to on the live stream tonight. I'm thinking highly about just doing a early morning type of like YouTube series type of ordeal, and then just doing it. But if y'all on the West Coast, I got the interview part 2 with Cocaine, with the legendary rapper Cocaine.
Salute to Cocaine, man.
Yes, sir. And that's going to be dropping within the next hour and 30 minutes. So
Appreciate
it's
you.
already loaded. It's already loaded. It's just going to drop at that time specifically. So trust me when I tell you, a lot of us deal with a lot of uploads and all that crap and everything like that. But yeah, it's already loaded. It's already in the queue.
Cool.
And I think people are gonna really enjoy it like they did yesterday.
Man, that's awesome, man. But nonetheless, man, Seti Nash, the Nash edition. There it is, man. Say less, man.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
tap back in a little later, and I'll be on the Seti Nash show, man. The Nash edition, man. I'm so proud of this brother right here, man. He moving and grooving, man. He got comedy, he got music, he got rap, he got stories, he got this a host of things that he does, man. He does them really well, man. Shout
I
out to you,
appreciate it highly. Yeah, we go. Look at this. Here they all come now.
there they go. Let's see. They 4 minutes late.
Throw that away. Throw that away, please.
Okay,
What
so
happened to 4:30? What happened to 4:30? Huh? Y'all just all type of late today. What's going on, sir? You sure? You got water in your shoes? Oh, okay. You got water in your shoes.
well, Seti Nash, we out, bro.
Yes, sir. I'll catch up with you later on.
I'm good enough. Say less. Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. Be sure to like, click the notification bell, and leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Drop a comment in the section, man, and we'll get back to you. Yeah, only 4 minutes. He didn't deserve to be, you know what I mean? He just misspoke. He didn't really know, man. Some people don't. really know that we're not on ignorance. We on education. We on elevation of the mind and just having pure hearts while we doing it. Okay. So with that just said, Professor Melly Mill, Hood Postman, we out.